Hey guys, so yesterday I finally got around to finishing watching Leprechaun Origins. Now, as far as the film series Leprechaun goes, um, I have enjoyed those films, honestly. They're guilty pleasure. They're dumb as hell, um, but they are honestly a guilty pleasure. They were never scary in the first place. I mean, it's I can't hold them in the same regard as I do, and I know some people might give me shit for this, but I hold them in the same regard as the Chucky movies, the Child Play movies, in that they're entertainment for me. That they're funny, even if it's unintentionally funny. Um, Particularly with like the Chucky movies, except for like the last few. I just could never take those movies too seriously. I just couldn't. Uh, I thought like with the Chucky movies, Warwick Davis as the original Leprechaun was great. He gave personality to that character, and he was one of the best things that made those movies better than they had any right to be. I didn't. I've only watched up to Leprechaun in Space. After I saw Leprechaun in Space, I was like, I'm done. I think I mean, for fuck's sake, they have Leprechaun in Space. I didn't see the Leprechaun in the Hood movies. I mean, I don't know. I should maybe watch this one day, but I never did. I just never got around to watching those. It was just, I think I was done after. I haven't seen, I only saw Leprechaun in Space once, and I remember that movie being really bad. I mean, fuck, that was the first horror villain to go into space. Not Jason. That's pretty funny. But anyways, of course, when I heard that they're remaking Leprechaun, I'm like, okay, what the fuck, why not? And then they're gonna take a more serious tone. I'm like, okay, yeah, alright, that's fine. But then I also heard it was being produced by WWE Studios. And I go, what? That's my first reaction. It's like, wait a minute, what? WWE Studios is making this. Up to that point, they hadn't made a good movie, except for Oculus. And then Oculus came out earlier this year, and that was great. I don't think they had much to do with that movie, though. I think that's why. I don't know how much they had to do. I think they just distributed that movie. But anyways, but then it was also announced that their midget wrestler Hornswoggle was playing the Leprechaun. Now, for the wrestling uninformed, I'm a wrestling fan, and for the people that don't watch wrestling, let me explain who Hornswoggle is, very briefly. He is a midget. I know it's not politically correct, probably, but he's a midget that made a career off of being like a kids-friendly character. He also, when he first started, was basically like playing a leprechaun. And like I said, he's geared towards kids, and he's about as threatening as a fly. So when I heard he was playing Leprechaun, I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, like, everybody, as soon as they heard that WWE Studios was producing it, everybody was like, what? Like, everybody jokingly said, what? Is Hornswoggle going to play the Leprechaun? And then a week later, it was announced that he was. And we were like, we're fucking kidding! But at the same time, it was like, alright, that kind of makes me curious. Like, this movie could be really unintentionally bad because of that. Let's see how this goes. And that was my kind of, like, mindset going into this thing. And, you know what? While the other ones were funny, unintentionally funny, and pretty damn entertaining, this one was just kind of boring. This movie is, like, a completely different kind of Leprechaun movie, because this movie is supposed to be scary and supposed to be taken seriously, unlike the other ones. And this one just is very boring. It's a very cliched horror film that you've seen a million goddamn times. I would give props, if I could give props to things about this movie, though, is that I did think the creature effect, the Leprechaun did look impressive. I'll give you that. It did look pretty cool. There were, like, when you actually saw the thing, you can actually appreciate the look of it, like the face and everything else. So you get to see a pretty good look of it. I had heard when I saw a review that said you don't really get to see it. Honestly, at the end, you do get a really good look of it at it, and it is pretty impressive. It's like, I guess, how can I describe it? It looks like if you mix Pumpkinhead with what does those creatures in the caves and the Descent with Nosferatu, if that makes any sense. And it's a very different look for it. I kind of like that they did do something different. And you can't tell that it's Hornswoggle until you saw the name in the credits. You would have never guessed that it was like Hornswoggle. He doesn't talk. He doesn't do anything. He just growls and just tries to be intimidating as shit. I like also the gore in this movie when they fucking showed it was pretty impressive. Like actual practical effects. Anytime a horror movie nowadays will use practical effects, I appreciate the fuck out of it. A horror movie will do that. Because it's usually all CGI, and this movie wasn't. There was CGI, I mean, it was very good CGI. Even the Leprechaun, you could have done CGI, but they luckily did, had somebody in a suit. It was somebody in a suit. Hornswoggle in a suit. And this movie, yeah, well, I can give those praises. The movie's just really like I said, cliched horror film. It's basically takes the plot of, not joking here, Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods, where Cabin in the Woods kind of took that plot and kind of parodied it a little bit. This one is just, basically, it's the type of movie that movie was parodying, making fun of almost. It literally has 4 kids go into a cabin in the woods to be sacrificed by people that live in Ireland, or to a leprechaun, basically, to satisfy a leprechaun. That's basically it. The whole story is that these villagers basically took gold of the leprechaun, and they have to give human sacrifice as redemption. Yay. And all these characters are bland. You know who's gonna live, who's gonna die. It's no fucking shock at all. They're all various stereotypical characters, and I really couldn't give a shit about any one of them. The acting wasn't horrible. I mean, I've seen worse, but I couldn't give a fuck about any of them. The one thing that fucking drove me nuts about this movie is the shaky cam. Oh my god, half the fucking time I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on. There were points where the shaky cam was so bad, I could, Leprechaun would be in one area and then he would be in the next area. One time he would be on the back of a truck, and then somehow he ended up on the top of the roof and then back on the back of the truck. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it would do that to hide away from the violence, even though this movie's a fucking rated R film. And then scenes later, they would show the leprechaun rip a guy's spine out. No fucking joke. He goes all fucking Predator. He rips a guy's spine out at one point. And, just sitting there well, fucking make up your mind. Are you gonna be gory, or are you gonna be, hide away from the violence? And also, for fuck's sake, it tries to be, Predator, and it has, apparently this fucking leprechaun is Predator because it's got heat vision, and that was annoying and really useless. And, they would use that when he was killing people, and so that was another way to hide away from the violence, which was really fucking annoying. Yeah, like I said, he apparently is fucking Predator, and also, like I said, he rips out people's spine, also, just if you thought it wasn't, because I remember hearing that this wasn't a remake of the fucking original. If which I kind of call bullshit at the end of it, because at the end of it they had to fucking put in the famous line from the original, "Fuck you, Lucky Charms." Yeah, that's in it, and it fucking came out of nowhere and was like, just there was no point to it. I hate when movies do that, when they reference a line from the original that doesn't need to be fucking in there. Hence, like, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, using the "get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape." That annoyed the piss out of me. God, I hate when they do that. You always get this with any of these fucking remakes. I know this is supposed to be a reboot, but this is not a fucking reboot. And I know at the end they're kind of hinting that there's going to be another film and there's going to be more Leprechauns or something, apparently. I don't... Fuck that. This movie's no good. I kind of knew going in it wasn't going to be very good, but it's just not... It wasn't horrible. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I've seen all year. It isn't the worst horror movie by any means. But it's just... It's not very memorable. It's fucking boring. It took me a couple sits to sit for this one. It's just... after the other ones were, like, memorable in the fact that they were just so goofy and unintentionally funny, this one just had no redeeming qualities about it. Like, none of that you like about the original Leprechaun movies. I'm sorry, I'm watching fucking one of the Jason movies is on. I'm watching AMC Fear Fest, one of the Jason movies. So, hey, it's horrors. It's Halloween, so hey, yeah, play some of those movies. Anyways, what the hell? Okay. Was that fucking Corey Feldman? It was a bald Corey Feldman. Did I just imagine that right? Alright, anyways. I'm just going off right here. Anyways, don't recommend Leprechaun Origins. It's not very good. I'll be back for the next few days here. I'm gonna with either a Dolphin Tale 2 trail or Dolphin 2 review or Dolphin Tale 2 review, what the hell else am I might be seeing? What VHS viral review or whatever I'm gonna go see Friday. Until then, I will talk to you guys later. Damn it.